Caroline from CarolineVencil.com here today with another amazing video for you. But before we get into that, be sure to like the video, comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have a new video that goes out basically every single day. So let's get into it. I get this question all the time. What are the apps, tools, extensions, websites? What are the things that I use to help my business run more smoothly? I have a bunch of different things, and we're going to break it down into time management, scheduling content, graphics, SEO, and everything else. Let's go. What are some of the best apps or website tools or extensions or anything like that? What are some of the best apps that you use? Good news, I've got a few of them. So kind of buckle up and get ready for this one. I'm going to try to breeze through it because there's a lot of them. But ultimately, I just don't think it's going to take a bit. Okay. Time management apps. Like I said, I am ADHD. I need things that are going to be helping me a lot. So Toggl is an app that you can, or it's an extension, it's a website, and you can track how long it takes each project. You can track how long it takes you to write an email. You start and stop your timer. Or if you are doing like scheduling out your social media posts for the week, how long does it take you to do that? You can stop and start it to see exactly how long it takes. So that is one thing for like individual projects. Or if you have a VA business, Toggl will help you track the projects that you're doing for each client so that you can send them a very detailed report. Personally, I prefer to use Rescue Time because it just works in the back end of my computer and I don't have to do anything. With Toggl, I have to remember to turn off and on my timers, which I'll be honest, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget to do that, and it's really simple, and I still forget. So Rescue Time really does help me both with making sure that I'm staying on track for my start and stop times of the day because I really I value my end work day and my beginning work day. But it also helps me to see what websites I spent the most time on. No surprise there. Last week, it was Canva and Zoom and Loom. Had a lot of meetings that week. So Rescue Time is another app and it works on the back end, and each week it will send you a progress report. You can set up the different websites that you want to mark as like productive because initially it was like Canva is not productive and it gave me a big red line and it scared me. The truth is that it is productive, and because I used it, because that's how I use it. So obviously the next thing is a kitchen timer. 10 out of 10 recommend it. I have this one has 2 timers. You could use your phone. I don't care. Personally, if I see my phone, it's problematic sometimes where I want to pick it up and do something. Having a kitchen timer really does help. It's there and it's done. The next thing is it is an extension for Google Chrome. It's called Newsfeed Eradicator. So when you log on to Facebook, it gives you a motivating quote instead of seeing the entire news feed. I like this because 1, I dislike Facebook, but 2, because then I don't get sucked into Facebook, that whatever drama is going on, I don't get sucked into it. I'm there to do my work, to schedule a post, or to check up on somebody who I know, like they posted something and I wanted to heart it or whatever it is. I know it, my purpose, and I can get in and get out without being sucked in, without any of like the infinite scrolling loop that you do sometimes, that I do sometimes. Normal people probably don't have that problem. But the next thing is another, what is this thing called? Extension called OneTab. I love this thing. I have a love-hate relationship with OneTab because sometimes I have too many things in one tab and then I forget what it is. But basically, when I'm done with my day, or if I'm working on a project and I have 800 different tabs open, I will click on this little one tab fella and it will save all of them in one little folder, and I can reopen all of them when I want to reopen that task. It's something that I have to get better at doing for a lot of different things because right now I have too many tabs open, but it really does help if you are kind of like me and are a multi-tab, multi-window kind of a person. It can become problematic if you aren't careful. So one tab really does help kind of make it so that you can put all of your stuff in one place and not worry about it. So those are kind of my things for time management. There's others as well, but really these are my big 5 things. Some of them are website extensions, some of them are Google Chrome extensions, and some of them are just literally on my desk. So I hope that makes sense for time management. So yeah. All right. So the next thing was the best apps and tools for scheduling. Um, I'm still a big fan of scheduling things out. I know that there's kind of a a lot of like debate on whether or not scheduling things is really good. Personally, I like to schedule things. I use Later for my Instagram. I have the plan. I pay for it now. You can use Later for free. I found out from my friend who has 170 some thousand Instagram followers that she uses Later for the free version still. And it's really easy to use. And if you don't want to pay for it, you don't have to. You get 30 posts per month for free. But I do pay for it now, and we can schedule reels and videos, and I think even TikToks. I've not experimented with that just yet, but I'm sure that that's coming. So I use Later for, you could use it for your Facebook. You could use it for Instagram. I think you can even use it for Pinterest, but I don't use that for Pinterest. I use Tailwind for Pinterest. I still use Tailwind. I know that that's probably like a lightning rod of a statement. I'm not claiming to be a Pinterest expert right now. I am focusing much more on SEO work than I am focusing on Pinterest. But as far as like keeping things active, looking, and continuing to make posts on Pinterest, I use Tailwind. Now, for idea pins, I have to post those live. I don't think that I found a scheduler for it yet. I'll ask my VA if she did. As far as I know, there isn't one as of right now. Again, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But if that's the only thing that I have to post on Pinterest each day is an idea pin, I'm a very happy camper. But I do still use Tailwind. I abide by what they say is like their best practices right now. So like they give you the timing and everything. I do automatic schedule. I don't post too often. And right now, again, as of today in September, this is what's working for me. This is what I'm using. And another thing that my team started using, because we got, there was like some Instagram bonus if you posted reels. And so I know, why is Tailwind so controversial? I don't know. I really, really don't know. I know some people love it and swear by it, and some people hate it. I wish that I had a better, like, solid answer on that, but that's where we are. And then, so there's Buffer. Buffer is very similar to Later, which is also just like a regular social sharing extension or website. You can hook it up to a bunch of different social platforms and it will post for you. We use that because there was a limit on Later as to how many like things we could actually post. And so we had to find a new place to actually post reels, and that was where Buffer came in. So Buffer was free for me to use. Go figure. I love me some free stuff. But as far as like using it a lot, we really don't. We're much more like a Later and Tailwind kind of a team, because again, things that work, things that make our lives easier and that don't require a lot of fiddling. You know what I mean? Or a lot of deep technical know-how. Anything that makes things easy is an easy yes for me. So if you've been live posting your content, like, and feel like you are beholden to social media, Later and Tailwind and Buffer, 100%. Okie dokie. I need to drink some water. I'm not drinking nearly enough water. Next up, graphics. What are my favorite tools for graphics? Obviously Canva. I really, really do love Canva. I used to be like very, very anti Canva. But probably 2 years ago, I really started playing around with it, and Canva really started upping their game. I'm like, oh, okay, we can do this. There's still plenty of things that I wish that they had that PicMonkey has. But as far as like an all-around graphics and designing platform tool that you can use, Canva, 100%. It's also one of the only things that I fully recommend people paying for the pro version. I think that they have like it's free or it's pro. Paying for Canva Pro is the easiest $120 that I've spent ever. Just because of the fact that there's so much that you get with it. It's such an all-encompassing tool. Love it. 10 out of 10. PicMonkey is another one. If you have to choose between PicMonkey or Canva, I would go with Canva. I just would. Me personally, I have both. I have both because there are still some things that Canva does not have that PicMonkey does that I use regularly. For example, overlays for text. So I love to do like a textured overlay of like glitter on text. You can't do that inside of Canva. You're kind of stuck with whatever kind of frames that they had inside of Canva. And if you don't have the right font that you like, it's just not worth it. So PicMonkey does have some things that I think are better than Canva in some ways. Even there are things like adding shadows and such to text and to images and such. It is really a lot more comprehensive, in my opinion, on PicMonkey than it is on Canva. A lot more customizable. I just really, when it comes to like designing fonts, I make almost all of my logos inside of PicMonkey still. I just do. There's still so much things that Canva could really work on. And so I still keep PicMonkey. But if you're not using a lot of textures, if you're not doing a lot of designing with fonts, don't worry about even looking at PicMonkey. Just go with Canva. There. My e-cover maker is another thing that I really like still. I have the yearly plan with my e-cover maker, and I don't think I'm going to re-up it right now, but that's another conversation. My e-cover maker, I get to make covers for ebooks and binders and stuff that look really legit. One of the things that I don't like about Canva's frames is that when I'm trying to make, like, if I want to make a binder, if I want to show people, hang on. Here we go. Here we go. No, don't fall. There we go. I want to show people my budget binder. I want them to see that it's spiral bound. I want them to see that it's printed out. I don't want them to think that it's like a bound professional book. I want them to see the 3 rings here, or the spiral bound stuff. I don't want them to think that it is, you know, like a printed book that they could get from Barnes and Noble. So that's where kind of my e-cover maker comes in. You do not have to buy it for the whole year. You can pay for it by project. So I think that each project is $5 or something. So if you really wanted to, you could. I don't think that it's mandatory, but I'm a graphics person, so I prefer to kind of have that mock-up. So there's that. And then there is WhatFont, which is an extension. I can actually, like, if it's over here it is. WhatFont. So while I'm on sites and I've clicked on WhatFont, if you've ever been on a site and you're like, gosh, what is that font? Now you can know. Some of these, because they're inside of Canva, it's kind of it's more difficult to see what it is. Like that one right there, that doesn't make any sense. But if you're looking up here, you can see Canva Sans. They have their own font. If we go to, click over here to my blog, Arial, Poppins, you can check and see what it is and what. So you can also not just see what it is, but you can also see the size of the font as well, which I think is pretty cool if we're being completely honest. Like, so that you can kind of, if you ever go to someone's site and you're like, that's so loud outside, I'm so sorry. If you ever go to someone's site and you're like, gosh, that font is so pretty, I love it. How do I find out what it is? Well, good news. WhatFont will help you to do that. And then there is Go Full Page. This is what I use to take full page screenshots when I'm trying to do like a dissection of a sales page, or if I'm trying to show a screenshot for the Creative Entrepreneur Society membership so that you can see what it is like inside of the lead pages that you get each month. I'm going to use Go Full Page. Let's see if this will work here. Oh, it might not. Oh, it might. So what this little Pac-Man fella, I think that, oh, can you guys see it? Oh, you can't. I'm not scrolling. This is go full page. Dang it. But it's literally a little Pac-Man guy, and it will literally take a video of, or a picture of the entire page until the scroll stops. Yes. And it's really, really awesome for trying to discover more things on like sales pages that you like, trying to kind of I backwards engineer everything. So whenever I see someone's sales page that I adore, I'm going to go full page and I'm going to print it out and I'm going to go through it with a fine tooth comb and isolate what parts of it I loved, what parts of it I want to kind of emulate for myself. Obviously not copying, but if somebody has a full page design where it's like it's a mock-up and it slides in at the same time that this one slides in, I love that. Or if somebody uses like bold text out of nowhere and it really draws your eye, and I love that, I want to see it. I want to know why my brain works that way. But yes, yeah, it's a lot faster than looking at the code source. Yeah, I did that too. It takes a long time. But what font and go full page, those are some really awesome ones as well for the graphic side. I really hesitated to even bring up what SEO tools I use, but I figured it was worth talking about. Uber Suggest is what I'm using right now to do my SEO research. I just found out after paying for a period of time that it was $29 a month, which I was fine paying because the other ones are like $150 a month. And I'm like, that's a little bit steep. If this was the only thing that I was doing, obviously it would be a nice, easy yes, but it's not the only thing that I'm doing. So, but then I saw that they have a lifetime plan for $290. Sold. Sold. Uber Suggest is made by Neil Patel, and it is a very robust SEO tool. It will help you to focus on what keywords you should be looking for, what keywords you are ranking for, how difficult it is to rank for them. You can see how much search volume those different keywords get, and it will also give you suggestions on your SEO based on like a site audit that you can do on your own site. So that you can do, if you don't want to pay for it, you can do 3 searches a day for free. I think that it's 3. It could be 2. They might have changed it. But you can do some. There you go. There's my little disclaimer. You can do some searches for free using Uber Suggest. It's not, the free plan obviously is not as robust. The paid one is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And then the next part is Jasper. Jasper, which used to be Jarvis, which used to be conversion.ai. They've changed their name a lot in the past like 2 years, but it's an AI copywriter. I use it for my Uber Suggest keywords. I will plug in my keywords that I want to rank for, and I will write a post using the outline that I have, using the Uber Suggest keywords that I have, and Jasper. It helps me save so much time and energy having to come up with new ways of saying like how to save money for beginners. You know what I mean? After a while, you just start to kind of go cross-eyed when you look at SEO stuff. So Jasper's really, really awesome. And if you're doing anything on YouTube, TubeBuddy. I think that there's a free version of TubeBuddy, but I have the paid one because it comes with a little bit more bells and whistles, as all paid things do. But it really does help if you're looking to grow your YouTube channel and you don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing either. Like, we're in the same boat here. TubeBuddy really did help me to learn, like, oh, people are falling off at this point. You might want to add a card, or people are losing interest at this point. You might want to shorten your intro screen, or what kind of tags are you use? What kind of tags are you using? It's been a long day. What kind of tags are you using? Here are some recommended ones. They will give a lot of information and best practices and help you to understand what it is that you could do to be doing a little bit better and learning and growing and all of that stuff. So if you're looking to grow on YouTube, you don't have to just figure it all out yourself. TubeBuddy's there. It's really not expensive. I can't remember how much it is for the whole year, but I do not think that it's a lot of money at all. They have a premier plan. I have the paid plan, but they have one step up from there. I don't think it's necessary, but that's just me. I don't like spending unnecessary money if I can avoid it. So as far as SEO goes, I use these two for my site. Oops. I use these two for writing SEO posts for my site. I also use Jasper for YouTube, the description. I write in the keyword and the title and the different parts that are like involved in that video. And I have it copyright. I have the AI do the copywriting for the description. I've written emails using it too. Yeah, it's very, very awesome. And two, buddy, if you're just looking to learn how to do all the things on YouTube, you don't have to figure it out yourself. So there, yay. And here is kind of just like my catch-all. I didn't really know what to say for these, but these are the other tools that I use to keep my business going. And especially if you have a team, these are what I would recommend for you. There's plenty of other different kinds of things that people use, but this is what I use with my team. I use Slack for all of our team communication. That's how we keep in touch and make sure that everyone is on the ball, doing all the things. QuickBooks, I use that. It has a connection directly with my accountant, and it really does help to know what it is that she needs from me in one place. She's like, "Oh, I've got everything. I just need you to send me A, B, and C." I'm like, sold. So there's that. LastPass. If you have VAs and you're not comfortable giving them your direct password, I get it. Totally fine. LastPass. I think that LastPass is free. I could be wrong. But it really does help when you're sharing your passwords with a bunch of different people for a bunch of different things so that nobody necessarily like can just see your password. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm like definitely a big fan of LastPass so that I don't have to be like risking people being able to like go back through my emails and like, oh, this is the password. Oh, it's the same password. You know what I mean? So LastPass is awesome if you do have a team. Upwork, if you are looking to hire people for your team, if you're looking to build a team, if you're looking to find your first VA or hire a YouTube editor, whatever it is, Upwork exists and is awesome. I have had really good experiences on Upwork. I found a lot of different team members on Upwork. They've been fantastic people who I've worked with and I really enjoyed, and they did a great job. And Upwork is also like, it's not nearly as expensive as like the VA finder groups. So if you're just starting out and you're like, a $35 an hour VA sounds great. I love that, but it's a little bit out of my price range. Upwork is really awesome and will help you find people who are really good, and you can interview them and you can do different processes and ask them to go through things before hiring them. So Upwork really is very, very helpful if you're looking to hire your first person. And then Loom. I love Loom. Especially like not just for, recording videos. I do a lot of videos that I record for these trainings that I do. I use Loom when I'm making them. There's nothing wrong with it. And if I find a cool thing, I will make a Loom video really quick to show people. But it's also really helpful when you start hiring a team and you're like, this is the process. And it's easy to see it written out, but to actually watch it and practice is a totally different thing. So it's very, very helpful if you want to hire people. Give them a Loom video of exactly what it is that you want them to do to show them. It's one thing to say to them what it is to do. It's another thing entirely to show them. So Loom is invaluable. I'm like 90% sure that it's free as well. Slack is free. QuickBooks is not free. LastPass has a free option, and Upwork as well has a free option. You only have to pay for Upwork under certain circumstances. And same thing with Loom. Loom is free for a certain extent. And then there's like a next level plan. I don't think that everybody needs it, but that's ultimately, these are what I use on a daily or semi-daily basis. It's really not a lot, I promise. Like it looks like it's a lot, but they're for very, very, very different things. So yeah, I'm an open book when it comes to like, what are the tools that I use? this is kind of it. This is what I do. This is what I use. So that's really no holding back with that one. So that's all right, guys, I hope that helped you so much. Remember to like this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will do my best to get back to them. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.